Hello viewers, you're welcome back to this channel. In case you're joining us for the first time, my name is Jenkel. Please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our subsequent videos. Today, I want to show you the top 5 POS scams which scammers use to defraud business owners and POS operators. It is necessary that you watch this video to the end so you don't miss any of these things we are going to talk about today. Here are the top 5 POS scams. And this number 3 is the most recent and you should pay attention to it. Now, we're going to take these scamming methods one after the other. Number 1, changing the withdrawal amount. This occurs when your customer cancels your withdrawal and reinitiates it with a different amount. This usually comes with the customer editing a withdrawal which you have initiated, and whenever they do this, they impute a lower amount. For example, a customer wants to withdraw 10,000 or wants to pay for 10,000 naira worth of goods, and you as a POS operator, you've already imputed 10,000. As soon as you give the terminal to the customer to input their PIN, they cancel that transaction because they know how to operate the terminal most of the time. So what they do is, as soon as they cancel that transaction, they initiate it again, usually with a lower amount. So instead of the 10,000 you've typed in, some would type 1,000, and some may even go as slow as 100 naira. And then they go on to input their PIN and process that transaction. You know, these scammers are very smart. For them to succeed in doing this, they will engage you in a wonderful discussion. They will present themselves as friendly as possible. You will be lost in thought. Sometimes you may believe these people are wonderful. You start discussing with them, you lose concentration. The intention is to distract you. So when they input this lower amount and it prints, you'll be so deeply involved in that discussion that you may not bother looking at that printout to see if it is actually approved or not. Most times, the transactions will be approved, but you would not pay attention to understand that the amount has been changed. So, in order to avoid this, I'll tell you the 2 things you need to do. These 2 things are security measures that can save you, but the most important thing you should do is to pay adequate attention during your transactions. Don't let anyone distract you, don't get carried away. Aside that, here are the 2 things you should do in order to avoid your customers changing your withdrawal amount. The first method is to log into your mobile app and turn on the withdrawal PIN. Just go to your mobile app and turn on the withdrawal PIN. When you do this, you'll be requested to input your PIN each time you want to start a new withdrawal. So when this is turned on, if the scammer terminates that transaction and tries to initiate it again, they will be requested to input the business owner's PIN. And you will find out that they'll get stuck. They wouldn't know your PIN. Then they will have no option than to return the terminal to you. So this will save you from the hands of these scammers. Then the second method you can use is to raise your notification duration on your POS terminal. You can go to your admin on your POS terminal. You will see the option there to raise your notification volume. Just raise it, put it to the highest. Whenever a transaction is cancelled without inputting the PIN, let's say you've given the customer your terminal to input their PIN and they cancel that transaction, immediately your POS will start beeping. The noise will be so loud that you will be notified that this transaction has been cancelled. So this will save you. If you apply these 2 methods, it can save you from that method of scam which involves changing your withdrawal amount. The second scamming method is using dummy ATM cards. And this occurs when the scammer tries to make a withdrawal with an ATM card that is either damaged, expired, or has insufficient funds. How they do this is to visit your pay point with this dummy ATM card and try to make payments. They know already that the transaction will fail because it's either the card is damaged, expired, or that it is insufficiently funded. So before coming, they know already that the transaction will fail, and all they need now is to distract you. They ensure you're distracted so you don't realize the final status of that transaction. They will either deceive you, make you believe they are in a hurry so that you don't look at the printout, and then you pay them. Maybe after they've left, you discover you've already made some kind of mistake. To prevent this kind of scam, all you need to do is to concentrate at all times during your transaction. Make sure you concentrate and follow that transaction to the end. Ensure that you know the final status of every transaction so that you'll be able to identify failed transactions and approved transactions. Third scam is printout reuse. Like I said, this is one of the latest scams in town right now. It is still very new and many people are falling for it. This is how they operate. The scammer tries to reuse a previously approved receipt, like a previously approved printout that you've given to them. They try to present it to you and use it again. This is how they do this thing. They will come to your location and perform any transaction, especially withdrawal transaction, and they will make sure that you give them the printout. You give them the printout and they go away. Then later on, maybe the same day or some other day, usually the same day, they will come back to your location. They may not come in person. They may send somebody else, a member of their gang. The person comes to your location and tries to make another payment, which will be exactly the same amount like the previous person had done in the morning. So when that person comes, you will initiate that transaction. They can terminate the transaction along the line. They can cancel it and then present the old receipt to you, making you believe that this recent one you just did now has been approved. You wouldn't know that that transaction has been cancelled and that they are presenting you with the old receipt, which maybe you issued them in the morning and now they're coming in the afternoon. So if this is really, really critical. When you look at the receipt that they've offered you, you will discover that it's bearing your business name and it's still bearing the same amount. Some people will rush to look at the date. You will see that it's still bearing the same date. So you'll be convinced beyond every doubt that this transaction has been approved and you fall for this trick. You have to take note that they don't need to cancel that transaction. Most times, they will let it run. They will hold your terminal. The transaction will print out. Sometimes it will tell you insufficient fund or even print out and say incorrect PIN. Immediately the declined receipt comes out, they will tear the receipt and exchange it with the one they had, the one you gave them in the morning, which has been approved. They will present that one to you. It will be so fast that you couldn't notice this thing if you are not paying attention. The second way you can prevent this scam is to never allow any customer tear out your POS printout for you. Don't let them hold the terminal until the printout comes out. After inputting their PIN, you retrieve it. They should never tear your printout for you, because immediately they tear out the printout, that's when they have the chance to swap the declined receipt with the approved one, and they have the higher chance of scamming you. So please, they shouldn't tear your printout for you. Immediately you give them to input their PIN. Focus. Prevent this kind of scam. You have to ensure that no customer holds your POS longer than the period of inputting their PIN. Immediately you give a customer your terminal to input their PIN, you should focus on them. Let them input their PIN and return it to you immediately, because they will try to distract you that you forget the terminal with them and then they'll be able to do what they want. So immediately you give them the terminal to input their PIN, watch them closely. As soon as they input the PIN, you retrieve the terminal from them and monitor the rest of the processes. The fourth method of scam is calling account details over the phone. This is common. This has become so common. Here, the scammer tries to use another victim to scam POS operators. They don't come directly, they use a third party to scam the POS agents. This is how it works. A customer comes to your shop and tells you someone wants to send some money to you so that you can give them cash. And then they will tell you the person wants to speak with you so that you can call your account number to them. Now you collect the phone from the customer. Instead of the other person at the other side of the phone to collect your own account number, what they will do is to call their own account numbers to you. They'll call their account details to you and tell you to make some transfers to them. They will ask you to make the transfer to input the account number while they call it. If you are not observant, you input the account number as they call it. After inputting, they will ask you to confirm the name. You will confirm the name. They will now ask you to send. They will ask you to send any amount and tell you that the victim, that the customer standing in front of you will be the one to give you the cash. When you make that transfer and they receive the money, they will hang up the call. And then, when you want to collect your cash from the customer in front of you, the story changes. The customer will tell you that the other person was supposed to send you money so that you give to them. To prevent this type of scam, don't ever make any transfers over the phone. Even if someone has to call account details for you over the phone, don't type it directly into your POS terminal. Write down the account details. Write them down and then ask necessary questions first. Another way to prevent this is to always collect your cash, count them, and ensure they are complete before initiating any transfer. At the end of the day, you discover that both of you have been scammed. But in the whole story, the person who loses the money is the POS owner. The POS operator loses because the other person was just scammed. He will no longer get the money he was supposed to get. But you, the POS operator, you would have sent your money and it's a big loss for you. So in most cases, the customer in front of you was not part of the plan. In most cases, they were not part of the plan, but they were used to scam you. And at the end of the day, no matter what happens, you may not get back that money. You've lost it for good. The last on our list of top 5 scams is cash swap. In this method, the scammer goes to a POS stand for deposit with 2 different wraps of cash, in which one is fake and one is original. So all they do is to give you the original cash and ensure you've counted them. This will help them gain your trust. After you've counted the money and confirmed they are complete, then they will try everything possible. They will do anything possible to get back the cash from you. When they've gotten back the cash from you, they will swap the cash. They will swap them. And then, after some arguments, they will return the fake one to you. Because you've already counted before, you may not want to count again, especially if it's a huge sum of money. They will return it to you, and then you just collect it and initiate that transaction. And they will leave your location. Then, after some time, you may discover that they have given you a fake note. Prevent this type of scam. No matter how well you've counted any cash before, as long as you have returned it to the customer who later brings it back to you, always ensure to count it again. Count the cash again. Don't assume it is complete. The trick in the first place is to gain your trust by making you count the complete cash, the original cash, so that when they collect it back and return to you, you will assume it is still the same fund. It is no longer the same money. It has been changed. So this is why you must count it again before you initiate any transfer. If you have enjoyed this video, please like it to make us know you like it. Share this video to everyone and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You will enjoy the things we post. You will enjoy it, I promise you. See you later.